Hi there, Mustache Garrel coming to you today live from the Music Zoo, and I want to talk to you about one of my favorite parts of my job that I have here, and that would be ordering guitars from the Gibson Custom Shop through their made-to-measure program. So for those of you that don't know, the made-to-measure program is an option that you have to have one-off guitars built with completely unique specs. And what you have available to you is all the different bass models that the Gibson Custom Shop is currently offering, with a variety of different specs on each one. So for those bass models, you have a couple of different things as far as like historic reissue guitars, and then their more standard modern offerings. So with the Les Paul, you have the Les Paul Standard, 1954 reissue, 1956, 57, 58, 59, and 60. You have the Les Paul Custom 1957 reissue, a standard Les Paul Custom as well. You also have the Les Paul Custom Access, the Les Paul Junior, the Les Paul Special. As far as SGs go, you have the 1964 SG Standard, you have the SG Junior and SG Special available there as well. You also have the 1959 and 1964 ES335 reissue. And for the Explorer, the Firebird, and the V, you have a historic model and a custom model for each of those. So the exact options available to you can vary over time, so I'm not going to get really specific about those lists of options, but the things you generally can change are the finish, the aging packages, the pickups and hardware, the fretboard and fretboard inlay, as well as the tuners. And I'm going to show you now a couple guitars that we have from our store stock to show how you can use these options creatively to make a unique guitar. So first up, we have a 1954 Les Paul Standard, which is one of my favorite models in the line. The normal guitar has a set of P90 pickups and a gold top. As you can see, what I did here was replace those P90s with a set of custom humbuckers with nickel covers, replace the gold top with this fabulous lemon burst finish, and I changed the back finish to match the top a little better with an aniline die on this one. So the change that we made to this 1959 was one change, albeit a very important change. We replaced the ABR1 and stop tailpiece with a wraparound tailpiece like that 1954 Les Paul Standard had. Now it is one change. I mean, it changes the aesthetic look of the guitar, obviously, but more so it kind of changes the tone. Here at the zoo, we love Les Paul Juniors and 54s, stuff like that with the wrap tail, because we feel like you get a bit more resonance, a bit more response from that direct mount, like bridge and tailpiece right there, just transferring all that energy into the body and back out. Other than that, all the specs are straight ahead, 1959 ES335. So this next one is going to get us into the range of talking about the aging options available to you. So those other two guitars that I showed were VOS, which stands for Vintage Original Spec. Right, Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
So that one is a sort of like subtle, almost clouding. It's like a dullness to the finish, not necessarily age, just that dullness to the finish and some tarnish on the hardware. So this one here is a Murphy Labs ultra light age guitar. I don't know if you can see that, Nick, as I angle it back and forth there, but there's checking throughout the body, but not a whole heck of a lot of wear, like exposing wood on this one. Now this guitar is a Les Paul Custom for the base model. The changes that we made to this one were made to emulate a guitar that was a very rare vintage piece that we had seen offered at a store that was priced well into the six figures. It is a mahogany top as opposed to the normal maple cap that the Les Paul Customs have these days. We added the 3 pickups. We added this cherry finish to it, and it's got this really nice looking like aged binding as well. Ebony fingerboard with block inlays and gold Grover tuners on it, which are part of the base model. Now we'll move on to some more shiny guitars. So now if you don't want any aging or any patina or anything along those lines, Gibson does do a gloss finish, which is a full nitrocellulose finish that's buffed to a full shine, looks nice and brand new. This one is a Les Paul Custom base model. Again, one subtle but really tasteful change that we made is the addition of the Super 400 split block inlays up the neck. A Music Zoo favorite. Woo! So one of my favorites that we have right now would be this SG Special with 3 custom humbucking pickups as opposed to the normal 2 P90s. The thing that I think is really cool about this one is between the neck tenon, all the pickup rings and pickups, it's just like one massive area of rock between here and there. You also have that wraparound bridge, so you get that nice resonant tone coming through, a tunnel-like response and sustain. Omitted the pick guard to keep it with a nice clean look. So the switching on this one is cool because in the neck position, you have just the neck pickup. In the middle, you have that middle pickup and the bridge in phase, which is a really great sound. And then in the bridge, just that bridge pickup. So I'll go ahead and show off the cool cherry finish for you. And just for a nice touch on a modified rock machine, you got the Grover tuners. So next up, we have a 1957 Les Paul Junior for the base model. We made a pretty big change to this one. Well, bam, again, P90 pickup replaced with a custom bucker, like a lot of those late 50s juniors that you see that folks over the years had done that, stuck DiMarzio's, Duncan's, things along those lines. This one's also cool because I added a push-pull pot, so you can split that pickup. Again, the wraparound bridge, as you can see, is kind of a theme here. This one also has some other sort of aesthetic modifications to it that make it look like a vintage guitar that's been played. The stinger on the back of the headstock, which was normally used to conceal a repaired headstock break, I added here just for that cool look, plus the Schaller M6 tuners, which you see a lot of folks were using in the 70s and into the 80s. And this one I added ultra light aging, so I'm gonna go ahead and angle this for you so you can see that a bit. Tom Murphy is the one doing all the aging on this in his Murphy lab, and they are really coming in better than they ever have before.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Always slaps.
Always slaps. So the next one is a really unique guitar. We here at the Music Zoo, being a dealer, are able to take approximately quarterly trips down to the custom shop in Nashville and hand select wood, oftentimes selecting flame maple for 1959 and 1960 reissues. When we were down there not all that long ago, they had a nice selection of Koa, so we've built a few guitars with Koa. This one is a 1957 Les Paul Standard, replaced what normally is a maple top with a gold top over it, with this Koa top with a Kindred burst, uncovered those custom buckers so you can see exactly what's going on down there. The rest of it is pretty straight ahead 57, other than the headstock. Again, went with that stinger for that really cool look and the Grover tuners on it. So the next one up I built based off of a guitar that I had seen in a lot of vintage guitar books as I grew up and always really desperately wanted that guitar. It was a late 50s Les Paul Custom, so I used the Les Paul Custom as the base model here. 3 humbuckers on this, but uncovered. Zebra in the neck, 2 black bobbins in the middle and bridge. Again, that same wiring as that SG had earlier, where you have neck, middle and bridge in phase, and then bridge. This one got an ultra light aging to it from the Murphy Lab. I'm gonna go ahead and spin it around to show it off there. And it looks really great on that classic black finish with that age-looking binding. These base model come with the Grover tuners, so we left that as is there. This is another one of my favorites. All right, last, but most certainly not least from this bunch, this one really is my favorite. I swear it this time, I actually mean it. So this one is a 1956 Les Paul Standard for the base model. We had them go ahead and finish over the gold with this black finish. It has the Murphy Labs ultra heavy aging throughout, so you can see that that exposes some of the wood in the back, chips and dings. It exposes the gold undercoat all around the edges of the guitar, up the neck. You see the gold poking out there on the neck as well, all around the headstock. You have the aged tuner buttons on it as well. And as you can see, this one is probably one of the most heavily modified out of this bunch. So we have the P90 pickup, which is normal for this base model, but it is covered with a nickel cover. We do have a Firebird bridge pickup on it instead of a P90, a metal pick guard, which is available to us very rarely, and then the Bigsby's added, so you have the wang bar available in case you need it. This is one of the coolest guitars that we have, and like I said, it doesn't get any kind of crazier than this, so check this one out. So contrary to popular belief, I'm actually not sleeping on the job all day. I'm mostly thinking about stuff like this, new and exciting builds to bring into the store. We always stock a lot of made-to-measure guitars from the Gibson Custom Shop, so certainly keep your eyes on that page. All these guitars are available at the time of filming, although I'm sure that'll change pretty quickly, so go to that page and check these out right now if you saw anything that really caught your eye. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you liked any of these guitars but wanted a slight modification, you can always order something for yourself. You just need to get a hold of our sales team. They're very knowledgeable. They've been doing this for a long time. They can walk you through all the options that are available and the lead times and pricing and all that kind of stuff. So if you like this exact guitar, but you want it in a cardinal red, that's something that can be done. There's also options like weight relief, chambering, and sorting for lightweight. So if you want something as simple as just a normal 1959 reissue, but sorted for a lighter weight, that's something the Gibson Custom Shop can accommodate. Or you can go the kind of extreme route like this and change the pickups, inlays, the tuners, all that kind of stuff. All right, so thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all the various socials that there are, The Music Zoo. See you at the next one.